Video, I'm going to explain the backswing. I'm going to make it as simple as possible and easy to implement in your swing right away so you can get results. If you don't know me, my name is Andrew. I've traveled around the country learning from the top teaching professionals, and I've used that knowledge to help my students get results right away. So, the golf swing or the backswing is actually very simple, even though it may seem very confusing by watching everyone else on YouTube or Instagram, or most people on YouTube and Instagram. You may be confused what yours should look like, and even if you try and implement that, you may have struggled and not seen the results, even if you now have the perfect backswing when you're looking at yours on film. So there's basically 3 different backswing types, and we're going to find your personal one by using the Mike Adams fold test. And all these 3 backswings are stuff that Mike Adams talks about. I'm basically just taking what he does and I'm explaining it here. So we're going to do his fold test. So all you do, and I explained this in an earlier video about finding your perfect grip. So your backswing is going to be created by your fold and by your right hand grip position or trail hand grip position. And we want them to match. So basically, we're going to put our hands together, get in this position, and now while we're keeping our shoulders and our chest very still, we're going to swing our arms to the right and allow our right elbow to bend. Okay? We're not trying to do any manipulation, we're just allowing our right elbow to bend. So for some people, the elbow will go more behind. For some people, it'll be more on their midline, and for some people, it'll be more in front of their midline. All these are correct. It's just whatever works best for you or whatever you naturally do. So our basic goal of the backswing is whatever we do here, however our arm folds, we're going to try and do that during the swing, and we're going to do that by having the correct grip at setup. And I'll get into that in a second. If we move how we naturally move during the swing, or during this fold test during the swing, it's going to be much easier to make contact. You're going to swing faster and you're going to hit it straighter and be way more consistent because you're moving the way your body actually is intended to move. So, the first one, I'll explain all 3 of these separately just to make it a little less confusing. So, first, if you do the test result, your elbow goes behind your midline like this. What we want first is to get our right hand grip position correct. So, the grip is the palm versus club face. Palm's going to be more on top, and then you're going to grip it. So this V is going to point more towards your nose when we're in this position. Okay? Got to get that correct. Otherwise, doing this fold test stuff, it won't matter in the backswing. So, now that we got our grip correct, we're going to look at the fold test. So when I do that, elbow goes behind, and we're here. I want you to notice 2 things. 1, elbow goes behind the midline, or I guess 3 things. The hands move deeper. So this would be shallower or more out. This is deeper compared to the middle of my body. So they're going this way. And then 3, watch how much arm rotation my forearm does. It basically doesn't rotate at all. And I'll show you the difference in different styles. So if I have my good grip, so palm more up here with the V pointed here. And also watch, we have to match the elbow too. So my elbow is pointed more out. It's not on top and in. Okay, so I've got that good grip. Now I'm basically going to do this fold test just with the club. So now, watch this. Elbows going behind, hands are going in, and there's not a lot of rotation of the forearm. What that creates is hands in, elbow back, and this club head outside the hands. And it'll probably be a little bit shut. By shut, I mean turned down more this way. It's not going to be that extreme, but somewhere kind of in here. Okay, so that's number 1. Now we're going to do the 3rd version that I showed you, and then we'll go to the 2nd version. It'll just be easier to contrast it that way. So the 3rd version was when we do the fold test, elbow goes more in front. I want you to notice the 3 things again. So 1, elbow goes more in front or stays more in front of the midline. 2, the hands work more out, whereas the last one I showed you, they worked in. So they work more out like that. And then the 3rd thing is, watch how much rotation I have of my forearm. So a lot of rotation, hands go out, elbow stays in front of the midline. Okay? As I talked in the last video, we got to match the fold test to the grip, to the right grip location. So for this person, you're going to be more under the shaft. Okay? So now this V is going to point more towards the right shoulder, even maybe a little bit outside. Okay? And then the elbow position is going to be more under. Or the elbow, you'll see more of the crack of the elbow. Whereas the last one I showed you, it was like this. So it's more in. Okay? So now that I have the correct elbow position and hand position, I'm going to show or see how this works during the swing with a club. So I got all that correct. Now I'm going to rotate my arms, do that full test the same. You're going to see elbow stays more in front of the midline. Hands go out, forearms rotate. And what you'll notice, the club head will be a little bit inside the hands and the club face will be open. This just naturally what will happen in your backswing if you follow this. So, elbow in front, forearm rotates, hands go out. Means the club head goes inside and opens. Perfect for that style player. So, now the second one I'll show you, or the third one I'll show you, is the other option. This one's kind of the in-between. It's not as extreme as this, and it's not as extreme as this. So the third one was elbow on the midline. And what you'll notice, elbow goes back a little bit and then stops at the midline, and that there's some rotation of the forearms, and the hands aren't going in and the hands aren't going out. They're kind of just going in between the two. Okay? This type of person, we're going to go palm level with the face and grip it. So this V will now point kind of like the logo of your shirt right here, or right collarbone somewhere in here. And the elbow position will be in between. So it won't be under, it won't be out. It's kind of in between the two. So now if we do this style, and this is the one that gets taught the most, but for this style or this style, it just won't get you the best results. So we got a good grip, got a good elbow position, and now we're just doing this. Get to that midline and some rotation of the forearms. So if we do that with a perfect grip and elbow position to start, it's going to look more like this. Club face will be basically vertical and it will be on the hands at this position. Okay, we got a little bit of forearm rotation. Elbow goes back, but then it rolls and tucks, so it's on the midline. Okay, so all three of these versions are correct. It's just whatever works for you. So the steps to do this, get your grip. Well, first, do the fold test to see which three of these is the way you naturally move. Step 2, get the grip correct. So if the elbow goes behind, you're going to be more on top. If the elbow goes on the midline, you're going to be more palm and face the same. And if your elbow tucks in front, hand's going to be more under. Okay? Step 3 is to match the elbow to the arm. So if you're on top, elbow's going to be pointing more out. If your arm's really far under, or if your grip's really far under, you're going to see more of the crack of your elbow. And then if your palm's level with the face, you're going to kind of be in between those. And then the fourth step is just to naturally do whatever you do during this fold test. Do that now with your perfect grip and your perfect elbow position. And then from there, you're going to have more consistency, better contact, and hit it farther because you're moving naturally how you should. So the best way to practice this, well, there's two ways. One is literally just taking your perfect grip and then doing that fold test over and over and over so you get that correct feeling. The second drill you can do is called the paddle drill. This is also Mike Adams' creation. So you're going to put a paddle on your right hand. The reason it's so good is because when your fingers can touch the grip, you can kind of manipulate it and make it not move accordingly to how it should. So I'm going to show you the 3 examples now using the paddle. If you don't have a paddle, you can just make your hand into a paddle, but some people will still mess up and like grab the shaft and twist it. So this is better. So first I'm going to do this one. So elbow behind, hands deep, not a lot of rotation here. So with that person, their hands more on top, like this. Okay? Elbows out. So now when I do this, I'm going to do the fold test, and it allows me to get in the perfect position. Because some people, if you didn't use the paddle, you twist the grip some way and just adds manipulation. This just makes you move the correct way. So hand on top, elbow out, and then I do that fold test. You get this result. So club head outside the hands, hands deep, elbow back. Another one I showed you was someone that tucks in front. So for them, hand is more under, elbow is more tucked. So you can see the crack of my elbow. So now when I do that here, hands go out, elbow tucks in front, and forearm rolls. So from here you'll see club head is inside the hands, so club head's on that side of the hands, and the face is open. Just like when you do this test. Okay, and then the last one is fold test. The elbow is level with the midline. And now for those people, palm and face are going to be the exact same way, and then the elbow is not out, not totally in, kind of in the middle. When someone like this does it and they do the fold test, we got elbow on the midline, some rotation of the forearm, club head is covering the hands, and the face is straight up and down. Okay? So to recap, you're going to have one of these three backswings. There's a couple outliers if you look at the top players, but 95% of them follow this exact formula. So I would try it first. Try this first out of anything, and I promise you'll get results. So to recap, all I want you to do the fold test. And you do that by putting your hands together, getting in golf posture, keeping your shoulders and your chest square. Swing your arms to the right, allow this to bend however it naturally does. From there, you're going to figure out where your grip should be by following that test. Match it with the elbow, and then just do the fold test with a club. Having the correct grip and the correct fold test. You can practice it by just doing that, standing here, doing the fold test a bunch with a club or with a paddle. And then once you start hitting balls, do like 10 reps. You could sit here, do the fold test with the club, and then hit like 5 balls, just starting slow, like mid-chest to mid-chest or even hip to hip. And then as you get more comfortable, everything should feel better and smoother, more natural. And then just grow the swing and grow the speed. If you want any help and you want an in-person lesson and you're in the Twin Cities metro area, I'll put an email below that you can contact me and we'll set something up.